Now, it's time for our Pepsi Throwback Playoff Moments.
He is going for gold. Will Pearson. He got it. Touchdown. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.
Dilfer from his end zone, over the middle. That's complete. Shannon Sharp, room to run. Sharp to the 40, to the 30. Gonna make it to the end zone for the touchdown.
Shannon Sharp's 96-yard touchdown reception, the longest in postseason history.
JB, that was 9 years ago, and I'm still tired. JB, all we wanted was enough room to have a punter could have enough to punt the football.
Right.
And I was like, somebody's going to tackle me. Oh, you're not going to tackle me.
You weren't slowing down at the end, were you?
Yeah.
I can't be honest about it. All right, folks. All right, with the Vikings winning earlier this afternoon, the NFC Championship game is set, Dan.
And, you know, you look at New Orleans and what they've been able to do. Drew Brees, you know, as far as he gave a clinic yesterday. He had 8 different receivers, and they have a balanced offense. They ran it 34 times, threw it 32 times. And when you think about that, how are you going to stop them? To me, if Minnesota, if they can get a pass rush like they got on Tony Romo, they'll have a chance against Drew Brees.
But the problem is Ray Edwards, the health of him will be a lot to do with their ability to do that. But I look at the New Orleans defense, who did get healthy. Shaun Ellis came back. Porter is now on one side. Their corners came back. Jabari Greer. I think this is a defense. A shut down Arizona, 1 for 8 on third down last week. They held them to six punts in that game. I'm going to tell you, New Orleans defense is well rested, and I think they can stop this Minnesota offense.
Edwards is injured, who had three sacks, 2 tackles for losses, 5 total tackles, Antoine Winfield. So now all of a sudden you have to deal with all these receivers that the New Orleans Saints are going to throw at you. They played well, and Minnesota played the best we've seen thus far, but I don't know if they can go into the Superdome and win.
You need all hands on deck if you're Minnesota to stop this offense down there. I have had the distinct honor of going down there and doing Monday night games in that dome, and the fans have been absolutely crazy. It's going to be a little dose of their own medicine given back to them, so they're going to need everything they got on defense.
All right, Boomer. Well, the Colts advanced to the AFC title game with a win over the Ravens last night. There was an emotional moment after the game when Indianapolis wide receiver Pierre Garçon carried the Haitian flag in honor of the earthquake-stricken nation. Garçon, by the way, is one of 24 NFL players who are first-generation Haitian Americans. And by the way, if you'd like to contribute, and we certainly encourage you to do that, to the disaster relief, simply text the word Haiti, H-A-I-T-I, to 90999 on your cell phone to donate $10 to the Red Cross. Your donation will help victims of the earthquake in Haiti, as well as other relief efforts. Once again, that number is 90999. All right, up next, Boomer visits with Jets quarterback Mark Sanchez, a rookie with confidence way beyond his years.
It's no secret. We want to win the Super Bowl, and that's what we think is going to happen. And the way we prepare, the way we've been playing lately, we can potentially do that.
You know that other airlines charge up to $20 just for your first bag?
That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
They charge up to $30 for your second bag.
And my kids, too?
Your kids' bags, too. So imagine there's you, your wife, your kids, and you all have bags.
Somebody's not going on this trip.
If you're planning a trip, remember, bags fly free only on Southwest. Save up to $100 or more, maybe a lot more.
Well, how about if I just send my bags on vacation and I'll stay home?
Right?
In the laundry room, Mark Olson is joined by that woman from 3C. He's tried before to engage her.
It's supposed to be kind of windy today.
But today, he's ready.
You heard about McDonald's new dollar menu at breakfast?
She's interested. They talk about the savory sausage McMuffin, the hearty sausage burrito, the premium roast coffee, McDonald's new dollar menu at breakfast. A common interest, something to build on.
This could be our song.
Nobody makes breakfast like McDonald's.
If you think about it, this is a lot like most job search sites. They let everyone in, so the best people can't stand out. Join theladders.com, the premium job site for only 100K plus jobs and only 100K plus talent.
Now you can get the latest name brand HD TVs where you already save. Well, actually, just a few rows over in Walmart's expanded electronics department. Get unbeatable prices on today's latest HD TVs from Sony, Vizio, Philips, Sharp, and Samsung. They're a lot closer than you think. Save money, live better. Walmart.
America's top CEOs are going undercover in their own companies.
Someday I'm going to run this place.
I don't doubt it. Undercover Boss premieres after the Super Bowl, only CBS.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Pepsi Throwback, made with real sugar, available for a limited time.
And welcome back, everyone, to the NFL Today as we count down to the kickoff in San Diego between the Jets and the Chargers. To say that the Jets head coach Rex Ryan is confident is something of an understatement. But the fact remains that the Jets' fortunes rest largely with a rookie quarterback, Boomer.
You are correct, JB. You know, this week I had a chance to sit down with Mark Sanchez, and he is as confident in himself as Ryan is in his team. I sat down with Mark Sanchez this week to talk about his memorable first season in the NFL.
Last time we spoke was back in week 3. Have you thought about where you are now from where you came from?
A little bit. You know, we started off so well, especially after 3 weeks. You know, we were 3-0. I planned on going 16-0 and winning the Super Bowl, and everything was great. And then hit some rocky weeks there.
Sanchez throws an interception. Another turnover by Mark Sanchez.
Did you ever dealt with the negativity like that?
No, never. You know, we've always won in high school and college, and then after 3 weeks, you're just used to winning, and you never think it's going to end.
I got a couple things to say real quick. You guys probably have some questions after. This should hit on everything. Just some things I'm thinking here.
The post-game press conference, and wish you had a piece of paper in your hand.
That's a good one.
When you look back at that now, do you cringe?
I mean, I laugh. It's just, you know, it seems so perfect at the time, but, you know, looking back now, I think a lot of people got upset about it.
You know, something else that was frowned upon, weirdly, I might add, was eating a hot dog on the sideline.
It's just, you know, like a soap opera, I guess. You know, those things kind of inevitably happen your rookie year, I guess, and you learn from them and move on and take those experiences with you and get better.
They gave you a wristband that has different colors, red, green, and yellow. I'm not going to ask you to explain the colors, but, I mean, you have colors on your wristband, man. What is that about?
I don't even know what they mean. You know, it's just, it was a point that Rex wanted to make, you know, really to get me to understand where my mistakes had happened in critical points of the game.
Intercepted, picked off.
20 of those interceptions, if they could have just been incompletions. You know, not even converted for touchdowns or anything like that, just incompletions. I mean, how many more games would we won?
When you win, you always talk about how great everybody else is doing, but when you lose, and these quotes say it, I blame myself, I had a terrible game, I cost the team a win.
To me, it's just true. When we win and I happen to have a good game, the other guys make plays. Jericho made 2 huge catches in the game.
Making the catch is Jericho Cotchery.
Yeah, but, you know, but those balls were right there. I mean, you know, you're doing your job too.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have caught those balls.
I mean, he did an awesome job, and inevitably it makes the quarterback look good.
When your head coach says, here is the itinerary for the Super Bowl, does that put more pressure on a rookie quarterback, or does that take some pressure off of you?
Everybody knew that that's what we want to accomplish. I mean, it's no secret. We want to win the Super Bowl, and that's what we think is going to happen. And the way we prepare, the way we've been playing lately, we could potentially do that.
All right, so we're going back to Cali this week against the San Diego Chargers. This team is one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in all the NFL. What do you have to do to win?
They are, like you said, on fire. I mean, they offensively, defensively, they can score. They cause quarterback fits. It's going to be a dogfight, and we need to be ready to play.
1, 2, 3, go!
Every week it seems like there's just a new challenge in the playoffs and a side story to everything. You know, last 2 weeks it's been playing against Carson, you know, a guy I idolized growing up, and now this week it's going back home. And then the next week will be something else. Storybook ending, I mean, we'd love to be in Miami. Rex showed us the schedule. That's, you know, we want to stick to that schedule and not have to go home.
And you know, guys, the team loves him. He's a great kid. He's a gym rat. He's always the first one in, the one to leave. He played 16 games in college, and already he's played 20 games as an NFL quarterback. So when you think about that, you got to believe that he's worn out.
And, you know, Ben Roethlisberger, we had him as a rookie, boom, and in 2004, we went to the AFC Championship game, and he was mentally exhausted at the end of that season. There's no question it takes its toll. But I think when you look at this football game, the one thing that's getting lost in this 11-game streak right now has been the San Diego defense. They've only given up 16 points a game. They have forced 18 turnovers, and the team has been a +8 in turnover takeaway. I just think right now the San Diego Chargers have too much offense. Their defense is going to be shut down. The Jets, they can't get behind this game. I like the New York Jets in this game. Oh, no, excuse me. I like San Diego Chargers.
It is official now.
All right,
San Diego Chargers.
All right, Coach. We know the Jets are going to want to run the football. San Diego has given up some rushing yards up the middle. They're going to want to run it. And I do agree with you. There's too many weapons on the San Diego Chargers side of the football. And they have bad matchups on Antonio Gates. And Sproles out of the backfield. He's going to have a lot of big plays. And to me, Sanchez and the Jets are going to have to play a perfect football game for them to have a chance to win this game. I don't think it's going to happen. I like San Diego.
And we saw that last night with the Baltimore Ravens had to play a perfect ball game and they couldn't get it done. But if I'm the San Diego Chargers, I'm selling out to stop the run. I'm going to take my strong safety, Eric Weddle. I'm going to drop him down. And I'm going to say, Antonio Cromartie, Quentin Jammer, I need you to take Braylon Edwards and Jericho Cotchery, and I need you to shut them down. And I'm selling out to stop the run. I believe San Diego, with all those weapons, guys, as you mentioned on offense, and I think they get it done today 24/7.
I think you're asking an awful lot of a rookie quarterback to go all the way across the country to play one of the hottest teams in football, as well as he's played the last 3 weeks. The fact that Rex Ryan has got his team all believing that they can win this football game, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go with the San Diego Chargers as well. I just think there's just too much offense and that the Jet offense can't match them point for point.
This is going to be a closer game than you think, because I think they played good enough defense. It's not going to get out of hand, but if they can keep it close, you just never know. But I agree. I think we're all in agreement. It's the San Diego Chargers.
Oh, we're all in agreement now since you got the lead. You got the lead in the pig segment. We're all in agreement now.
Coming up, folks, it's the New York Jets and the San Diego Chargers. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms are standing by in Chicago. We'll see you back here. These guys will still be chatting at halftime.
Why is 60 Minutes in tiny American Samoa? To report on its #1 export. NFL stars. Tonight.
Don't miss How I Met Your Mother. Monday, only CBS.
Begin your outdoor adventures at the Louisville Boat, RV, and Sports Show, January 20th through the 24th at the Kentucky Expo Center. Enjoy the best prices of the season and save. There's no better place to see and buy boats and gear.
The Sports Show.
Don't miss it.
Announcement from Moe's. Moe's Burritos now come in 3 sizes, packed with your choice of over 27 fresh ingredients. If you're starving like Marvin, build your own home wrecker. For Moe's little fans, there's the Moo Moo Mr. Cow. And now, all Moe's original burritos come in junior sizes, all with free chips and salsa. So remember, when it comes to burritos, size matters.
Let Moe's cater your next big game party. Mention this ad for 10% off your next catering order.
Help fight heart disease at the 18th Annual Crystal Heart Gala, Saturday, February 27th. Proceeds benefit the American Heart Association's research programs across the country and in our community. For more information, visit WLKY.com.
Begin your outdoor adventure at the Louisville Boat, RV, and Sports Show, January 20th through the 24th at the Kentucky Expo Center. Enjoy the best prices of the season and save big on boats, RVs, hunting, and outdoor gear.
The Sports Show.
Don't miss it.
Your local forecast, the way you want it.
At WLKY.com.
Jets coach Rex Ryan says if San Diego beats us, then they're one heck of a football team. North Turner's Chargers have won 11 straight, though, and the winner here heads to Indianapolis and one step closer to Super Bowl 44 on CBS. Throws back in the end zone. He has us down, New York Jets. Wide open Sproles.
This kid is incredible.
And they catch him.
Revis is there and picked it off.
He's breaking free. Whoa! Incredible. Boy, is there some energy in this stadium and in this city now.
On the run. Unbelievable. Sanchez with time. Rivers, look out. What a throw. What a play.
Touchdown, New York.
Touchdown. They can't get nothing on us. You can't do it any better.
Just a glorious day and a raucous crowd as the NFL playoffs continue on CBS. The Jets and the Chargers, 2 of 5 teams left now in the race for the Lombardi Trophy. And who will be playing Indianapolis next week for the Lamar Hunt Trophy and the AFC title game? The Colts will host the winner of this one between San Diego and the Jets. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms. And, you know, with all your great playoff experience, you recognize the pulse of a postseason game, don't you?
Well, I recognize it again today, Jim. When the New York Jets came onto the field, the crowd noise, even in warm-ups, was something special. And they told us yesterday that last week in Cincinnati, they go, wow, it was a great environment. Well, today that environment's going to be tougher, and I'll tell you what, they're playing a better football team, too.
Well, that football team is led by quarterback Philip Rivers, who just relishes this chance now to get back on the postseason stage. How about his play this year and his thoughts on this game today?
Well, Philip Rivers, what can you say? His play has been spectacular all year long, and what he does best, he throws that long ball down the field. This offense is perfectly suited to his talents. He gets it up in the air, high and far, and his receivers, they're big, they're talented, they can make the adjustments. They win football games with their passing game.
Well, last week, the rookie quarterback Mark Sanchez of the Jets, who's very efficient, 12 out of 15 and a touchdown throw, and he's coming back home, raised about an hour away from here. What do you expect out of him today?
I know he's a young quarterback, but the Jets, of course, want to run the football, and he is the perfect complement to a team that can run, because he's mobile enough to get outside the pocket on those bootlegs where he goes the other way from the run play, and he's an accurate thrower on the run. Given the opportunities, he can hit the passes down the field.
All right, Phil, time now for Home Depot's Tools to Victories. Check out the tight ends today, folks. You know they're such a big part of it all for both offenses. You got Dustin Keller coming off a huge performance, caught a touchdown, set up another one last week in the win at Cincinnati, and then Antonio Gates, yet another Pro Bowl season, over 1,100 yards. Phil, I'd love to hear your take on the keys to this game.
Well, I'm going to talk about the fears these teams have in this game today. For the New York Jets, the defense, can they match up with all those skill players of the San Diego Chargers? That's their fear. For the San Diego Chargers, they fear the Jets' running game, that they'll get out, dominate the pace of play, keep the football, and not let their talented offense on the field to score those points.
For more Home Depot player stats, log on to CBSSports.com. This game brought to you in Sony High Definition on CBS, and the kickoff is coming up next.
To show you how good sports shot on Sony HD cameras, look on Sony Bravia HD TVs. I've asked Jim Nantz to come along and show off his hands. All right, Jimbo, coming in hot.
Yeah, here we go. Back to you, Peyton.
Sports look better on a Sony Bravia HD TV.
Hi there, I'm Jack. And a while back, I got an idea right in there. You know what it was? Make my PC simpler. So what did? I passed it along to Microsoft. Next thing you know, Windows 7 and this new Snap feature. Now, if I'm working at 2 things at once, I just drag this over here, Snap. Simpler. Pretty much exactly what I told him. I mean, I'm not trying to take all the credit.
He called his mother.
Of course I called her. She needed to know this. I'm a PC, and Windows 7 was my idea.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Just maybe there's one close game before the weekend's out. The Jets won the coin toss and deferred. You've got that explosive San Diego offense. How about this strategy, Phil, at the start for Rex Ryan?
Well, I like the strategy. Put your best part of your football team, you think, on the field, the Jets defense. But what you want to avoid, Jim, is the Chargers getting the football at the end of the first half, scoring points, and then you go in at halftime and you come back out, and the Chargers got the football again.
Darren Sproles stands at the goal line. Awaiting the kick, Jay Feely. Two yards deep. He's taken it out. And the little man takes it out to the 24, 26-yard run back. Here comes Phillip Rivers today looking for his 50th win as a starting quarterback. It's 49-21 all time. McNeil, Dielman, Hardwick, Vasquez, and Dombrowski. Hardwick missed 13 games this season. That's not a very experienced right side, but boy, have Vasquez and Dombrowski done the job this year. Tomlinson takes the first handoff and picks up a quick 5. Here's the Jets defense, #1 in so many of the rankings. Allowed an NFL low 226 points, but you take away 7 returns, it's even more impressive. Ellis now has been in a Jets uniform more than any player in Jets history in the postseason. And Bart Scott has been doing a lot of jawing this week. One of the 4 very active linebackers. And Revis, who will be on Revis Island this week. Matched up, you expect most of the day against Vincent Jackson, but not necessarily all the way. 2nd down and 5. A second tight end coming in. That's Manu Maliuna. Lined up next to Rivers, who's going to fling it. Got his completion. He's got his first down with Gates. The big target. You know, you talk about Jackson in the Revis matchup, but what are you going to do with Gates? He has 7 yards and a first down, Phil.
Well, that was the big question to Rex Ryan. He says, look, I think we can handle outside these wide receivers. But he worried about Antonio Gates, but for 2 reasons. One, he's fast enough and good enough to go down the field deep, but what you just saw on that play, big enough to go in and just get his body in the way and still able to make the catch.
Bart, buckle up.
A first down from the 35 and the pitch. Tomlinson knocked down after a gain of 2. Let's get a little Sims spotlight for you folks.
Well, let's just talk about Phillip Rivers and the San Diego offense. We know the Jets want to blitz. Will it bother Phillip Rivers? I don't think so. He can throw the football accurately, keep his eyes down the field, and still pick out those receivers even when he's under pressure, and he's done it all year long, and you got to commend him for it.
Going to go to the gun here with Chris Wilson coming into the lineup, backup tight end. Vincent Jackson shifts over to the left side. He had a second straight 1,000-yard season and a miscue on the snap, but Rivers falls on it, and Leonard downs him. An unusual sight there for the San Diego Chargers.
Couldn't tell what happens. Oh, it's just too high. Hardwick just flips it up, and sometimes early in the game it just makes sense. Even a center, just like skilled players with a hand on the football, somebody right in front of him, worried about the blocking assignments, bad snap.
Hardwick, who was out there for the first game of the season and was out 13 straight games with an ankle injury, came back right at the end of December. Scott Murchkowski had filled in admirably for him in the meantime. Then he went down with a knee. So Hardwick, this is only his 4th game of the year.
3rd long. This is the strength of the Jets defense. Well, it would be for any defense.
The Jets are #1 in the league, 3rd down defense.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Jerome Boger, the official. Today, there's Norv Turner. He talked about how crucial the week off was for this team, Phil. Well, you know, everybody else got discussed about how they approached the end of the season, but he said 5 or 6 guys couldn't have played if they had to play last week.
Yeah, that was interesting. So the health of his team, and also last week, Jim, to stay sharp, they practiced like they had a game. So they went out and practiced hard for 3 days. The only difference was they rested on Sunday.
3rd down and 23. And he's going to throw it away. Boy, was he pressured. Jim Leonard came running after the quarterback, along with Brian Thomas.
I can't design this defense or this blitz for you, everybody, so just look at everybody standing and what they do. They make you declare who you're going to block, then they read it, and here comes Jim Leonard. After he sees it, he picks the hole to run through, gets right to the quarterback.
So they manage 1 first down and then forced to punt. So that decision by Rex Ryan didn't backfire, that's for sure. Cypress. And Patry waves everybody out of the area. And a very generous bounce for Cypress. Goes all the way to the 25. That's a 52-yard punt in all. And we'll see the Jets directed by Mark Sanchez when we come back.
Bye, Bags! We love you! We love you!
I'm going to miss them so much.
Oh, I love those bags.
I love Bags.
Bags are my life. Bags are my life. Bags are my life.
Fits it right here, doesn't it?
That's right.
This baby boy was born yesterday. His brain is just getting going. But even he knows the BK Double Cheeseburger is bigger than McDonald's and only $1. He's no genius, but he's got the big stuff figured out. The $1 Double Cheeseburger only at Burger King.
Free is better. Do your simple return for free with the Federal Free Edition at TurboTax.com. TurboTax, the most trusted brand of tax software.
If Toyota gets credit for being the most fuel-efficient car company in America, well, then how do you explain all this? Chevy Malibu, Cobalt, Silverado, and the all-new Equinox. Compare them to anyone. May the best car win.
When a shocking crime hits close to home.
It's all right. They didn't take my comic books.
Will the best minds in science crack the case?
When does the CSI team get here?
Would I be completely out of line to ask you to shoot him?
Or will the case crack them?
Wonderful security system if we're attacked by a school of tuna.
New Big Bang Theory, Monday, only CBS.
Jim Nantz, Phil Simms in San Diego with the Chargers hosting the Jets and the winner to take on Indianapolis next week for the AFC Championship. Thomas Jones will shift back behind Sanchez, who adds reinforcement on the line with Wayne Hunter on the Jets' first offensive snap. Thomas Jones, a Charger on him right away, and there is a flag. It lost a yard.
How about all that movement before the play? Jets trying to create confusion. Make them think. That's what you always want to do in a tight any game.
Foul for ineligible receiver. Number 78 has reported as eligible. Second down.
As Wayne Hunter did not report in, but here's the rookie quarterback who started last week in their postseason game at Cincinnati. Really, they relied on that running game again, and Sanchez didn't make any mistakes on his way to a 12-15 performance. His line been together for 2 years without a miss. Ferguson, a Pro Bowler, and Keller last week 99 yards and a touchdown. Second and 11, and they go back to Thomas Jones, who lost his footing trying to make the cut, and the ball came out. They rule him down on the field. Gain just a yard. Here's the San Diego defense. Probably tired of hearing about that Jets defense all week, I would think. They've won their last 11 straight, San Diego, and in this stretch, the defense has allowed only one first-quarter touchdown in that streak. Sean Merriman, he's been hearing the talk all week. He told us, unless my shoulder pads grow lips, I'm not talking. He stayed out of all the back and forth. Repartee. Cromartie ready to pounce on a big play if the opportunity presents. The third down to 9. Sanchez goes short, and the Chargers again playing really fast here early on defense. Danny Woodhead with the catch and a loss of a yard.
Yeah, good opening series for this Chargers defense. You talked about it, Jim. They're healthy. Sean Merriman, 100%. The Jets, true to their nature, 2 running plays and a very safe throw. I like the first series by the Jets on offense. Don't take a chance. Let your young quarterback work his way into the game.
Steve Weatherford, of course, he missed that Cincinnati game last week because of a rapid heartbeat. His punt is not a good one. Very poor punt by Weatherford, who passed a stress test on Monday and spent 3 days in and out of the hospital. And that was traveled 28 yards, and San Diego set up at 45.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
Charles needs those contracts tomorrow morning. We should send them overnight with FedEx.
I already sent them. I didn't use FedEx.
You better cross your fingers.
Well, yeah, the accident. Well, you better knock on wood.
No, remember, we did a green renovation in here. There's no wood. But Russ bought a rabbit's foot.
It's a bear claw.
You could throw salt over your shoulder.
Actually, that's a salt substitute, but you should find Dan. I think he's a leprechaun.
What is it about me that says leprechaun? Can someone tell me, please? Someone.
You should have used FedEx.
We understand. You need reliable overnight shipping. FedEx.
Bravo, Charlie. This is Echo Delta. Open fire.
Not too heavy, not too light. Bud Light. The difference is drinkability.
Call off the tanks.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. Bud Light, with the just right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability. And by FedEx. We understand you need reliable shipping options. FedEx.
MetLife Blimp providing the aerial coverage, teaming up with CBS, and will continue to all 2010. They come out with San Diego's second possession, coming off a poor punt by Steve Weatherford. Rivers retreats into shotgun. Sean Ellis, we're hearing on that Jets defensive front, hand injury and questionable to return. As Rivers has an open man. It's Vincent Jackson running away from David Harris. And then tackled by Kerry Rhodes, but they advance it all the way to the San Diego 41, game 14.
So much talk about how are you going to play Vincent Jackson, and it's tough. They don't even have enough guys, the Jets. They must make a minimal mistake on that play. They lined up three receivers. He goes across. Who's got him? Nobody is there. So the Jets on a blitz. Didn't get to the quarterback, Phillip Rivers. Plenty of time to find Vincent Jackson.
You saw Mike DeVito, who's in there for Ellis for the time being.
They're short on defensive linemen to begin with.
First and 10, fake Tomlinson. Down the field, another open man. It's Floyd, and Malcolm Floyd is taken down at the 22 by Lito Shepard. Another big game, this one for 19.
Yeah, that's one thing. The San Diego Chargers, nice move off the line of scrimmage against bump and run, and that shake makes Shepard backtrack, and it allows Rivers to have a big open space to throw that in cut to. But the Chargers, they're not worried. Go ahead, put your best player in Vincent Jackson. They think they have four of the guys to throw the football to.
Rivers with 2 consecutive throws for big gains, and now at the Jets 22, they go run. Nice little shifty move by Tomlinson. Picks up about 4. Well, opposites. That's what we have here today. Jets #1 in the league, rushing the football. And talking about the Chargers, 31st. Over the Jets, 31st passing. Chargers 5th. You got the experience factor at quarterback. Sanchez, who just 54 weeks ago was quarterbacking USC to a Rose Bowl win. He was the MVP. That's the last time he played down this way. And again, this is the 71st start for Phillip Rivers.
That's why we work together. Opposites attract.
That could be a good thing.
It is. They want to agree on everything.
From the 18, a whistle first.
False start. Offense. Number 21. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, Phil, you're trying to round up some help here, picking your greatest Super Bowl quarterback of all time. Go to cbssports.com/Sims. to cast your vote. You'll see the results Super Bowl Sunday on Phil's All Iron Team, the Super Bowl edition.
Well, there's Rex Ryan. This defense not afraid to tell everybody how well they have played this year. And he goes, look, we have proven it during the season. They won a playoff game. We have the right to talk and play our style. We'll see if it works today.
2nd and 11. They fake the end around, and he whips it sidearm to Tomlinson. And Revis read that one out for a loss on the play. Mike DeVito came in and applied the pressure. He stood in there and was not going to be faked out by all that movement. A loss of 4.
Well, let's watch the San Diego offensive linemen. And when they pull, somebody goes outside, they let your guy go. There you see the center, Nick Hartwick, going out. And anytime the running back goes to the same side, the Jets know, here comes the screen. The Chargers very good at it. They run them a lot. And the Jets spent a lot of time this week getting ready for it.
Timeout, San Diego. We have another 3rd and long. When we come back, 3rd and 15 out of the break from the Jets 27.
At Pizza Hut, we've got a deal for you. Choose any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, and pay just $10. You want a large meat lover's pizza? $10. Maybe you're more of a large pan supreme kind of person. $10. Thinking of a combination of your own? That's $10 too. That's any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings for just $10. All your favorites, now just $10. Only at Pizza Hut.
AT&T's 3G network covers over 230 million Americans. It's a lot of people. To prove my point, I asked Gary here to friend request all of them. How's it coming, Gary?
We got one.
That's good.
Oh.
Ah, wow. Becoming a popular guy.
Want 3G coverage? We've got it. 230 million people in 9,400 cities.
Get out of here.
Okay. AT&T. Get an exclusive Pantech messaging phone free after mail-in rebate, only from AT&T.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does Elmer Fudd have trouble with the letter R?
Shh, be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Okay, cut. I'm hunting rabbits, Elmer. Let's try that again.
Shh, I'm hunting rabbits.
Cut. Rabbits.
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 Rabbits with an R.
Oh, this director's starting to rub me the wrong way.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Wisconsin rallies to win. The long desperation by Denver. Oh, lead it up. Count it on the 5.
A record crowd to see the championship. North Carolina is the 2009 national champion. San Diego had a 3rd and long its first series. And boy, they came after Rivers. There's another 3rd and long on the way for the Chargers. 3rd and 15 from the New York 27.
Well, you'd expect them to come. They got the walk-around defense. And if the Chargers have a play to take advantage of it, you think you'd see it right here. Here they come.
They're picked up. Rivers to Sproles, and he almost got away. He was trying to free himself from Drew Coleman. Picked up 9, so we'll be seeing Nate Kading trot onto the field.
Jim, here comes the blitz inside. Nice. Look at the wall they formed. And then you look down the field and you go, oh, okay, we got to have some open receivers. Darren Sproles is the only one. The 2 wide receivers are both double covered. So Phillip Rivers has to take his only option, a 3 or 4 yard throw out in the flat.
How about this streak? Field goals made inside the 40 by Nate Kading. And this is another one here. 36 yards. Cypress on the hold, and the streak comes to an end. My goodness. Kading, who was almost automatic this season, he made 32 of 35 overall, and the Chargers come up empty.
With 417 foot-pounds of torque, 403 horsepower, and an automatic rear locking differential, the GMC Sierra can do jobs other trucks can't. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. The 2010 GMC Sierra. May the best truck win.
To conquer even the worst winter roads, stick with Blizzak, the official tire of winter. For drivers who want to get the most out of their cars, it's Bridgestone or nothing.
Somewhere along the line, investors got lost in the shuffle. Investment firms forgot whose money it is. Enough is enough. It's time investors got what they deserve. Real help that's there when you need it. Pricing that leaves you with something to actually invest. At Schwab, we offer a lot more help for a lot less money. Because at Schwab, investors rule. Are you ready to rule?
You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 44. The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Sprint, official wireless service sponsor of the NFL. And by the GMC Sierra, the official vehicle of the NFL.
Kading had that streak of field goals made inside the 40. Now that comes to an end. He had also made 20 straight overall. Of course, the Jets, the beneficiaries last week of 2 missed field goals by Shane Graham of the Bengals. So they take over at the 26. And Sanchez with the throw that's incomplete. That was Dustin Keller trying to make the grab. Well, Kading in playoff action back against the Jets in 2004. The missed 40-yarder led to a Doug Bryan winning field goal for New York. And that was a 54-yard launch in the divisional round 3 years ago. A game won by New England, 24-21. But he is the Pro Bowl kicker, and he's one of the best around. A misfire that time. Rare miss for Kading this season. Sean Green in the lineup, and the rookie from Iowa, plows ahead for 5 yards. Now, we visited with Sean Green yesterday, and you were quite impressed by the rookie. Comes off 135 yards running against the Bengals and a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why he went in the 3rd round of the draft, but that doesn't matter. When you look at the Jets and the Chargers talking about that run game, they said Sean Green, even though he's the bigger running back, is the one that can shake defenders, get outside, and get those big runs.
Danny Woodhead back in. He'll be standing to the right of Sanchez on 3rd and 5. Woodhead picks up the blitz. Sanchez given the time, and the pass too high. He was throwing that one at Kachary. 2nd 3 and out now for the New York offense.
Well, 3rd long, very hard for the Jets to pick up, of course, because they don't get a lot of practice on this. You can do it all you want at your complex during the week, but you can only be a great passing team when you throw a lot during the games.
Weatherford's first punt, you didn't think he went after it with a lot of leg whip, huh?
He tried to kick it too easy, Jim. Even though you're trying to directional kick it, you still got to hit it hard. Much better.
Yeah, this one bounces right on the sideline, taking Sproles out of the equation. It's at the 20, 49 yards. Scoreless first quarter here in San Diego in the divisional round.
Welcome to the Now Network, only from Sprint, population 49 million. Right now, 180,000 people following 100 NFL players aren't receiving a single tweet. Surprise, surprise, they're playing football. 34,000 Sprint NFL mobile live users are making a last-second fantasy substitution. And another. And another.
I got this, for real.
And 1,600 players are using 15 miles of tape to protect 23 body parts on game day. For more NFL Now, join 1.5 million NFL mobile live users. Text NFL to 7777. Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
It guides. It shows. It slides. It tows. It sees. It calls. And it fits. We gave it more ideas per square inch because more is what we do. Introducing the Terrain, the all-new smaller SUV from GMC.
There comes a time when you know you've got to make a change.
This is the new Domino's Pizza.
We improved everything. Sauce, cheese, crust, you name it. The deal is 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $5.99 each. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back.
All of it. Not half of it. All of it.
The Samsung LED TV. Ultra slim. Intensely brilliant.
The NFL.
That's how I see it. The Samsung LED TV. It's football in hyper-real.
This week, Dave's all new with Extraordinary Measures star Harrison Ford, plus Catherine Zeta-Jones, Dwayne Johnson. And Monday, catch Kristen Bell and Randy Jackson.
Thursday, CSI real-life golf pros like Rocco Mediate, Duffy Waldorf, Natalie Goldus will tee off in a case that's really out of bounds, CSI. But I also want to say our guys are on there. Let's promote them. David Faraday and Gary McCord will star as well. CSI, Thursday on America's #1 network. I've seen the rack many times before, and I like it. And we'll see it Thursday. First down, Chargers at the 20. And that's a get to Tomlinson right at the middle for 3. And Tomlinson this week ran really hard, just anxious to get this chance to play in the postseason.
Well, Jim, we talked about it in the pregame a little bit, that when we watched him on practice on Friday, and Norv Turner even said it, he ran like it was game speed to him all week long. He's healthy. I think if you're a fan and you follow the Chargers, you can see he's been getting a little quicker, very close to breaking some big runs, and they expect to give him a lot of touches today.
Turner said he is a focused guy, and here he is. And of course, unable to focus on anything but that big wall of Jet defenders who waited for him. It lost a yard. LT, under 1,000 yards on the season, averaged 3.3 yards per attempt, but had the 12 rush touchdowns to add to that incredible total. In fact, this team was 31st in the league, rush yards per attempt. They did not have a 100-yard runner in a single game. Only 3 teams in the league could say that. The Colts were another one.
3rd and long one more time for the San Diego Chargers.
3rd and 8 from the 22. And that is Gates riding on out to the first down with Eric Smith carrying him with him for 10 yards.
How about that? Eric Smith is just all over him. Contact is made coming from the slot. Here he comes from the top of the screen. Good coverage. There's contact before the ball is in the air. But again, Antonio Gates, so big, just runs through Eric Smith and still able to get this catch.
Darren Sproles will be the running back. And for the Chargers, they've moved the chains on every one of their possessions so far before being shut down, including a missed field goal try the last time they had it. Rivers going to throw it away out of the pocket over the head of, well, Sproles may be in the area, but Jim Leonard was running with Sproles and saw maybe a little bubble screen setup. Tomorrow on CBS, after putting it off for years, will Charlie finally have the guts to go through with a colonoscopy? New 2.5 Men tomorrow only on CBS.
All right.
Wait, don't.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment. I'm going to go back to that last play. Phillip Rivers throwing it away. All week long, you're playing a blitzing defense. When it's not there, get rid of it. Don't have a disaster play by trying to make something happen.
Chargers offense for the second time calls a timeout in this first quarter.
These all seem the same.
They're not.
You can't fake Sony quality. It makes watching sports in HD better.
And the more sports you watch on a Sony, the better you get at sports. I can do this all day, football star. It's on fire. It's on fire.
Sports look better on a Sony Bravia HD TV.
Back at Qualcomm Stadium, Jets and Chargers trying to get in the flow.
Well, let's say this. I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think the Jets are upset that their offense hasn't gotten a first down yet?
2 consecutive 3s and out. They're fine right now. This is the pace of play they want, right?
They don't care. It's the pace of play. They're patient. When you play their style, you learn to do it. They're happy with the way this game has started, no doubt.
2nd and 10. Into the long ball, and it's Vincent Jackson. Jackson open in the middle of the field for the second time. I'll tell you, Tomlinson also did a terrific job picking up David Harris. It goes for 26.
Yeah, that's stuff that goes unnoticed. You're right. The blitzer's coming free. LaDainian Tomlinson watching 21. Bam, right at the line of scrimmage. And that's what happens. Most teams can't hold up front. So you don't even get the chance to throw it down the field to these open guys.
We've been talking all week. Everyone has been speculating about Revis and Jackson, but you saw it there. Revis was on Gates.
They'd like to do that when they can. It's a zone defense behind the blitz. It's not about matching up.
First down and 10 and no gain. Tomlinson.
Well, you talk about Darrelle Revis. You said it. He's covered a little bit of everybody today. That's a good shot of playing Antonio Gates. We've seen him in zone coverage. The Jets play a lot of zone coverage, too. So it's not like they just dare you to throw one-on-one down the field. And Rex Ryan said this about Darrelle Revis to us. We're going to move him around. He's going to play different guys. We're going to give him a chance to punish them all. And so they have tremendous confidence, and rightly so. He's had a tremendous year.
Second down and 10 out of Aliquippa High School, same high school that produced Mike Ditka, Tony Dorsett, Ty Law. And more flags.
Well, they're making him nervous.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
And that is now 3 false starts on San Diego.
Well, and a couple timeouts, too. Dombrowski, right tackle, 62, watch the flints. You know why? Because he goes, here comes the blitz again. He doesn't want to get one-on-one with some little guy on the outside because you got to worry about the speed.
Actually, 2 false starts, 1 delay of game, and the 2 timeouts. So certainly befuddled a bit. Second down and 15. That's Gates again. Strickland was on the coverage. Didn't get enough for the first. Picked up 11, Phil.
We've seen this play already, haven't we? I mean, we've said it. Watch Big 85. This is a wide receiver who just happens to have a big body. And again, just how do you get around him? And Phillip Rivers has thrown this pass so many times to him. Keeps it low into the outside. So he lets Antonio Gates use his size to catch the football.
Sean Ellis, Phil, has just come back onto the field. His left hand, heavily bandaged. Third down and 4. Sproles flanking Rivers on his left side. And that was intended for Legadou Nane, and it was Revis who made the play, preventing the first down catch.
How about that? Darrelle Revis, they're trying to work his side, or they're trying to cause confusion. They're crossing each other, but Darrelle Revis stays with his guy, and that's Jimmy just outruns the football. It's a good throw. It's a good route. It's going to come back underneath. Saw this in practice. Great defensive backs. They can play the football when it's in the air, and they can outrun it too.
4th and 4. They're going to punt it here. There's a flag first.
Okay, the Chargers.
Kasim Osgood was late running onto the field. And now another flag added to the mix.
Well, I think a lot of people thinking, would you go for it here? And my quick answer to that is no.
Your thinking was just, let's see if you could pin a rookie quarterback down into a very loud end zone area.
Which we know.
We have multiple fouls on the play. False start. Offense, number 81. That penalty is declined. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 88. 15-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So it was Osgood again getting onto the field late, and then Chris Wilson called for that personal foul penalty. It doesn't really hurt him all that much. You got a big-legged kicker here, and Mike Cyphris, who has been fighting a groin injury this last few weeks. Here's where the flag was thrown in on Wilson.
Oh, there it is, that little punch at the end.
Yep, right at the Jets' Wallace right. And a fair catch made by Cotchery at the 15. 36 yards on the Cypress boot. Friday, February 7th, I should say, The Who will rock the Bridgestone Super Bowl 44 halftime show. They're going to be performing live in South Florida. Super Sunday right here on CBS.
Well, so far, Tim, 3 tries by the Chargers. The Jets are making some good defensive plays, but they're also causing problems by the penalties and timeouts that's putting their defense in some of those good situations.
Taping up Sproles. Final minute of the first. Jets from the 15. With Thomas Jones, the tailback. Gets the handle and falls forward for 4 yards. Thomas Jones, who's going against a Ron Rivera defense. Ron Rivera, former assistant, of course, with the Bears with Thomas Jones. There's a great familiarity there.
And you got to say about this defense, they have pieced it together. It was in shambles early in the year because of injuries. The guys stepping up and a little change in their style, more aggressive, more blitzing. It served them well.
That's Sanchez, split wide to the right, a direct snap to Sean Green. And another flag falls as Green plows ahead for another 3 or 4 yards.
Well, was it a legal formation? Sanchez went in motion.
False start. Offense. Number 6. The quarterback went in motion from up under the center, but did not come to a complete stop prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Well, once you put your hands underneath the center, then you are not allowed to go in motion unless you step away, stop, and then give that 1 second break before you take off, and Sanchez did not do that.
He never got set. So the ball is placed at the 14. They've added some time on the clock. This is a very loud portion of the stadium, and Sanchez knows it. Last time the Chargers had a playoff game at home was a year ago, and Sanchez was in the stands in that very end zone. 6 rows from the top. 2nd and 11. Thomas Jones with his best run before he's chopped by Eric Weddle at the 21. 3rd down coming up when we start the second quarter. Through 1, no score. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 44.
It was a horrible feeling. Like I couldn't catch my breath. I couldn't believe I was actually having a heart attack. I remember being at the hospital, thinking about my wife. I should have done more to take care of myself. Now I'm exercising, watching my diet, and I trust my heart to Lipitor.
Unlike some other cholesterol-lowering medications, Lipitor is FDA approved to reduce the risk of heart attack, stroke, and certain kinds of heart surgeries in patients with several common risk factors or heart disease. Lipitor is backed by over 17 years of research. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you are taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. This may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect.
I'll never forget what I went through. Don't take your health for granted.
Have a heart-to-heart with your doctor about your risk and about Lipitor.
In 25 years, global energy consumption will increase by 50%.
To meet demand, we'll need to harness the power of sun,
wind, waves,
and atoms.
But that's not enough. Today, we need oil.
Which means before we drill for oil, we drill for data.
We can create 3D models of hidden reserves.
Find new oil in old wells.
Extend the life of a field.
Reduce the need for new drilling.
Smarter resources.
Let's fuel the smarter planet.
That's what I'm working on.
I'm an IBMer.
Let's build a smarter planet.
You remember me? You gave me that 5-layer burrito for
89 cents.
Yes! It's an inside deal for everyone. Layers of seasoned beef, cheddar cheese, and a hidden layer of nacho cheese sauce. It's Taco Bell's new beefy 5-layer burrito for just 89 cents. Why pay more?
Everybody down! This is a hold-up!
Don't be a hero. I'm not. I've got DirecTV, so I can set my home DVR from here. My favorite show's on tonight. That is so cool.
DirecTV lets you easily set your home DVR from any cell phone or computer.
Would you tell us how a psychic becomes a CBI agent?
No such thing as psychics.
Is he sniffing her?
We get along extremely well with our local partners in law enforcement.
You're angry because your wife found out about the woman you're having an affair with.
Sometimes I think you need medication.
I don't know if anybody's been deceived, but we start the second quarter. Sanchez sneaking over to the sideline, not in the huddle for the Jets. Brad Smith there, barking out the play. Been much more effective in this role in just the last few weeks. Third down for Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, in second quarter, scoreless. The winner to play the Colts next Sunday for the AFC title. Smith runs the option to Green, and the Chargers not fooled at all. Stephen Cooper comes up, and that's the third straight 3 and out for New York.
Well, there's so little they can do in that formation. Look at the defense. My gosh, everybody is up there. They're not even thinking pass. And so they got the Jets outnumbered no matter what they run. They've seen this option play already from the games against the Bengals. I would be surprised if the Jets come back with that thought.
And Weatherford. Another flag in action as Sproles looks to go wide. Now cuts back middle and takes it all the way to the 49 of the Jets. 41-yard punt, 9-yard run back, and a penalty. And we've had a number of penalties already on this one.
Yeah, some of the penalty, but I actually thought there would be, the players would actually, Jim, be a little, what's the word for it, chippier. A little more pushing than actually we've seen because of the talk that went on during the week.
Hasn't been as chippy as you thought, huh?
Well, it's...
Can a quarterback be chippy? I mean, you seem like a chippy kind of a guy.
During the kick, personal foul, hands to the face, receiving team, number 20. 15-yard penalty, add to the end of the kick. San Diego keeps the ball, first down.
Penalty on Kaysen.
On the outside against the gunner. Oh, right away from the snap. That's why the penalty flag, I saw it come out. Couldn't imagine what it was, but hands to the face. And Jim, I'm only chippy with you.
You are consistent. And look at this penalty. Instead of the football being on the Jets side of the field, the 49 is going back to about the 31. And tomorrow on CBS, a beautiful woman and a married man give new meaning to the term funny business. Amanda Peet guest stars on an all-new How I Met Your Mother. It's tomorrow on America's #1 network.
And to answer your question, can a quarterback? Well, the New York Jets say that Phillip Rivers, the last time they played, was talking to the players, the defensive players, a lot.
And Darrelle Revis was talking about that.
Said he even talked to him.
Said that's not nice, what Revis said about that whole back and forth. And Rivers, and that's something to talk about here is Hester takes it out for a first down to the 45. Picks up 14.
When you're a really good pass defense, which the Jets are, you're not going to be up there playing man-to-man coverage all the time. And so what the Chargers know, on first and second down, the Jets are going to play a little safe. When you get blocking up front, the running back sneaks out. There's no blitz. Phillip Rivers and Norv Turner both said, throw it to the backs, throw it to the short receivers, let them catch it and run.
Longest pass play of the season to Jacob Hester. Rivers has hit 6 different targets so far. Going again on first down. And tipped away, and a flag. Going to be interference call against Lito Shepherd. He was defending on Malcolm Floyd at the New York 39.
I was going to say, I don't know about this call, but I'm just watching Lito Shepherd. He doesn't contest it at all.
Pass interference. Defense, number 26. Foul to foul. Automatic. First down.
Remember, in the pros, defenders can put their arms on the receivers. The left arm. Oh, well, there it was, the right arm. And you see that left arm there at the very end. That's not the penalty. It's the pulling of the jersey as Malcolm Floyd comes out of the cut. That's where the pass interference came about.
Did have that left arm wrapped around the chest of Floyd.
As long as you don't move him, though, that's supposed to not be a foul.
From the 39, that was a 15-yard penalty. Gates reels it in with the one hand. And he's down to the 16 of the Jets. Rivers able to escape enough pressure, loft it, and Gates just jumped up and pulled it in with one hand for 23.
They're attacking on the first down. This is the old shoot screen. Everybody's running right. The tight end, Antonio Gates. Hey, look at that. Acts like he's blocking, and then Harris cannot recover because they think it's going to be a sprint out pass. And what a catch by Antonio Gates. Good job by Phillip Rivers throwing it soft so Gates can make the adjustment and run under it.
San Diego's 8th first down of this game. Jets don't have one. At the 16, Tomlinson. He spins. David Harris stays with him as well as Marcus Douglas holds him to a 3-yard gain.
I think it's pretty evident to see as you watch this game too so far. For the Chargers offense, it's about being aggressive in the play calling. First and second down, most of the time, that is your free down. You don't have to deal with everybody walking around, all the blitzes, and trying to figure out what this Jets defense is going to do. So take your shots when they're playing simple.
2nd and 7. Rivers going to the end zone, and he's got his man. Touchdown, San Diego. Chris Wilson. Left alone in the back of the end zone. 13-yard strike from Rivers.
It's a blitz by the Jets. They've got what the San Diego Chargers are trying to do. They get great coverage on Antonio Gates. They cover Benson Jackson, but the blitz leaves one receiver again, too many for the defense to cover, and that's Chris Wilson right down the middle, uncovered.
Kading on for the extra point. Wilson makes up for an earlier personal foul penalty. He had only 4 catches during the season, 1 for a touchdown. This one for a score. San Diego up 7-0 in the second.
We speak car. We speak RPMs so you can zip by other cars. But we also speak MPGs so you can fly by gas stations. In fact, we speak MPG so fluently, we can say the Ford Fusion is the most fuel-efficient midsize sedan in America. Yes, we speak car, and apparently quite well. Fusion is now Motor Trend's 2010 Car of the Year. Get in and drive one.
Football fans everywhere. For the taste as cold as the Rockies. Plus Blue Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer, and the official beer sponsor of the Super Bowl.
Okay, so let's look at those changes. Well, now we have 2 separate operations with Boise and Phoenix.
Questions at the end, Nigel, okay? Good.
Of course, this way communication will flow like the ocean.
And who doesn't like the ocean?
Exactly.
Report daily.
Compare hundreds of travel sites at once. Kayak. Search one and done.
Monday.
I've been putting off getting a colonoscopy for years.
It's Charlie's big day.
You won't believe what they want me to do.
You mean taking laxatives and drinking a half-gallon of industrial-strength colon blow?
Will it all work out in the end?
I just saw a piece of Hubba Bubba I swallowed in 5th grade.
TV's #1 comedy, 2.5 Men. Monday, only CBS.
Now Phillip Rivers hitting a 7th different receiver in this game, and it goes to Chris Wilson for a touchdown. And Smith returns it from the 7. And he is chased down by guess who? Chris Wilson.
Well, let's talk about Chris Wilson. How did he get so wide open on the touchdown? It's a blitz by the Jets. Watch Antonio Gates, 2 guys on him. Vincent Jackson, 2 guys on him. Chris Wilson, right down the middle. And it's a blitz by the Jets defense. Phillip Rivers under duress. I thought he was throwing it away. Let's see what it looks like to him. He knows there comes pressure. That's Jim Leonard diving at his feet. And again, he throws it softly to the back of the end zone. Chris Wilson runs under it for the touchdown.
Sean Green, the running back. Movement on the right side.
Did you think he was throwing that ball away? Could you see the receiver when Rivers let it go?
I saw him just hanging out in the back of that end zone.
Oh, you
yeah,
did?
I did.
I was too focused on Gates and Jackson. So.
False start. Offense, number 67. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, Phil, it's a really raucous building, this old stadium here in San Diego. When we were coming here this morning early, we were talking about how sometimes these, what are now golden oldies, if you will, there's just something about them.
The sound vibrates in here.
On 1st and 15, it's Green, hammered after a yard, maybe 2. Antonio Garay and Kevin Ellison with the quick stop. Now the Jets getting down 7-0, and that's been a lot of the talk this week about the Jets not being afforded the chance to get too far behind against a high-powered team, trying to come back on the arm of a rookie quarterback. Of course, it's just second quarter, but the first strike of the game goes to San Diego. And the Jets have not moved the football past their own 31 so far. Second and 13, Sanchez throws it away.
Well, that's what you want to do. I did like the play call. It gives Mark Sanchez a chance to just get out and let the field spread so he can find somebody down the field. But right now, the San Diego defense are going, we can handle this run, so they're not cheating. The Jets have taken advantage of defenses that couldn't stand into their power. Right now, San Diego's taking that power, and they're covering those receivers also.
What will they ask of Sanchez on 3rd and 13? Backed up deep. Fake draw. Over to Richardson. And 3 Chargers meet him at the 20. Again, 3 plays by the Jets and a punt on the way.
Well, we haven't got a chance to talk about them yet. But the San Diego linebackers are absolutely, against the run game, they are flying right at the runner, being aggressive, and just trying to ruin the blocking patterns of the offensive line. It's worked. And we saw their hits on the pass, too.
Weatherford, who was the punter for the Saints back in the 06 season when they made it all the way to the NFC title game, beaten there by the Bears. And that's Sproles grabbing hold of it on a fair catch at the 37. Chris Wilson making some plays. Special teams, touchdown as well.
Pepsi Throwback Celebration.
This is Tracy Palmer, and this is her restrictive calling circle. She's breaking free and saying, hey, 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 goodbye, and switching to Sprint with any mobile, anytime. Now on the Sprint network, she can call any mobile phone on any network, anytime, without worrying about the meter running. So she's calling every NFL fan in the country to talk a little smack about their team. Welcome to the Now Network. Get unlimited calling to every mobile phone nationwide when you switch to any mobile, anytime. Only from Sprint, the Now Network.
This baby boy was literally born yesterday. He doesn't know squat, but he does know the BK double cheeseburger is bigger than McDonald's for just $1. He's still learning, but he's got a pretty big head start. The $1 double cheeseburger only at Burger King.
Free is better. Do your simple return for free with the Federal Free Edition at TurboTax.com. TurboTax, the most trusted brand of tax software.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kayak. Search one and done. Extraordinary Measures. Don't hope for a miracle. Make one. Extraordinary Measures in theaters Friday. And by Pepsi Throwback. Made with real sugar. Available for a limited time.
Back here in San Diego, Dean Spanos, president and CEO of the Chargers. A lot of people believe that this is the time. This is the year for his franchise. This is Woody Johnson, chairman and CEO of the New York Jets. San Diego in the 38. Stepping up, hitting Floyd. Ball's out. Hit by Leonard. Going to be recovered by Leonard, I believe. Yeah, Leonard loses everything here. The helmet, but still has a nose for the football. But is it a catch?
That is
it a catch?
Did he have possession of that football before he went to the ground? Malcolm Floyd going across the field. Well, that's close. He definitely fumbled it while in the air. He wasn't down by contact.
Challenge flag out by San Diego.
Catch it. Did he have his feet on the ground? And that's really all it takes. You don't have to. It's not a football move anymore. It's going to be a catch and a fumble.
The San Diego coaching staff is challenging the rule on the field of a completed pass and a fumble.
So will it be an incompletion or will it be a turnover with the Jets taking over at midfield? We'll be right back to Qualcomm.
Start the year right. Eat smart with a mega meaty yet surprisingly low-fat Subway Club. Part of a Subway Fresh Fit meal. A simple way to enjoy eating better. Subway. Eat fresh.
There have been many versions of the social greeting. The fist bump has been thrust into and out of vogue. The low five was cool for a while. The chest bump had its day, as did the outlaw, the forearm grasp, and the point and go. In certain circles, the headbutt, and of course, the bro hug double back tap combo. But one greeting stands the test of time, with a beer that starts with full flavor and ends with a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. Budweiser.
Does your phone surf the web? Does your phone surf the web with the speed and power of a pro surfer at Pipeline? Does it bring you the web in all its glory, in all its intended pixels, allowing you to reach the farthest expanses of its universe, deepest depths of its oceans, without getting as much as a grain of sand in your shorts? Droid does. Wave-shredding web speed. In a world that doesn't, Droid does.
Right now, buy a Droid and get a Droid Eris free.
For the first time, 1 week before the Super Bowl, the 2010 Pro Bowl. Check your local listings or go to NFL.com.
We're waiting for Jerome Bogert to tell us whether or not this is a catch.
Well, in my eyes, catch, both feet on the ground, then a fumble, loses possession as he's up in the air.
I thought he had to take it all the way to the ground.
After reviewing the play, it is an incomplete pass. We go back and play second down and 10 at the San Diego 38-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 10 minutes, 35 seconds. San Diego is not charged a team timeout.
Well, you know, first off, you don't have to take it to the ground unless you're under contact. And
Wasn't that contact, though? I mean, the guy came in and had his helmet knocked off on the contact.
Jim, the contact's got to be happening when he's catching the ball. He caught the ball, 2 feet on the ground, then it came loose. So he doesn't have to take it to the ground there. And I'm just saying, this is my interpretation of the rules. I feel pretty strongly about it.
All right, well, San Diego able to win the challenge and save its last time out. And importantly, got the football still in its possession as Tomlinson is held to no gain by David Harris.
I mean, really, you know, let's go back to that play just real quick. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, but I thought it was pretty close. I got to say this, too. How about Jim Leonard, though? His effort. He makes the tackle, loses the helmet, and just dives into the pile.
Well, he did that.
And recovered the football.
But also, if it's close, then what are you telling me? On the field, they ruled a catch and fumble. You can't overturn it unless it's completely clear.
3rd down and 10. Where they pick up the blitz. Gates makes the spin move. And he's going to be stopped a yard short. David Harrison, Kerry Rhodes prevented a pirouetting Antonio Gates from picking up the first, about a yard shot.
Well, I tell you, the impressive thing about this play is that San Diego is doing a tremendous job picking up blitzes. And Phillip Rivers, that's a couple times we've seen they've picked out the short receiver. And then Antonio Gates, very close. Why do they punt it here? Because the Jets offense hasn't gotten a first down. They're going to play field position one more time.
Well, the Jets defense coming up big that time. That's the first time they force a 3 and out. Coming right after the previous time the Chargers had it. They were in rhythm and drove right down the field and scored. Another flag. And no fair catch as Jericho Cotchery is twisted down. Spillman, Osgood down there. But a flag all the way back at the 45 of San Diego. If it's against the Jets, it could be a first down for the Chargers.
During the kick. During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 44. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
So the Jets will have it again in a very tough position. Still looking for a first down 7.
Crime in New York City has dropped 27% since 2001.
Response times in Madrid
have been cut by 25%.
Cities all over the world are getting smarter and safer.
Every time an emergency happens,
data is generated. Smarter cities fight crime.
Fires. Flu outbreaks.
By capturing the data.
Detecting the patterns.
Sharing it across departments.
Responding to emergencies.
Even preventing them.
Making cities safer. That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer. Let's build a smarter planet.
Okay, so every truck out there is trying to spin, bend, and slice the stats their way. They're claiming the best this, the highest that, the most of something else, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. Look, here's the most important stat of all. For the 33rd straight year, more people put their hard-earned money on a Ford F-Series pickup than any other truck. Ford F-150, Ford Super Duty, the best-selling truck for 33 years.
CBS Thursday.
That's our ball. We're definitely going to need a ruling.
A body on the back nine.
This looks like murder to me.
You got to see this.
And a case that's way out of bounds.
Lewdness on a golf course? Yeah.
The pros tee off on a swinging CSI.
We don't have a primary crime scene.
I'm thinking a golf course.
I guess we'll just have to play it where it lies.
An all-new CSI, Thursday, only CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM. Let's build a smarter planet. Visit IBM.com/smarterplanet. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
We're back midway, second quarter. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms. Total yards by the Jets so far, 21. 11 less than penalty yards by New York to this point.
Well, they got to dig into that playbook. Just lining up and thinking you're going to overpower the San Diego Chargers, that's not going to work. You're going to have to do something that's got a little deception to it.
Sean Green, that's a good burst. Wrapped up by Sean Phillips. Picks up about 7. One more look at the play that was overturned on the challenge.
Yeah, of course, it's a big play in this game. The Jets need to make plays on the defensive side. And why it was not, or why it was overturned, we stated the rule. They declared that the time elapsed after the catch and he put his feet on the ground wasn't long enough. You don't have to make a football move. There's just got to be elapsed time. So that's why it was overturned.
2nd and 3, and Green has the Jets' first down. He broke a tackle, got away from Jacques Césaire, and goes for 11. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, when he states it that way, I even said it. We originally talked about the rule, elapsed time. I thought it happened, but it was quick. But let's go to these 2 runs. What do? The first time they fake a little reverse. They gave him a little room inside, and that time the formation made them think they were going the other way with the run, and Sean Green gets a good opening.
Ryan Schottenheimer calling those plays in. That one picked up 11, longest of the day for New York. They go back to Green for a 3rd straight play. And he's out to the 30. And Stephen Cooper on the tackle.
You know, Jim and we were getting ready for this game. We were watching the Jets offense. And, of course, we watched last week's game quite a bit. And at times, it looked like I was watching, a rec football game from somewhere I'd see in my town. Because everybody, the Jets are so adamant about running. All 22 guys are really close together like some you see in youth football. Not in NFL football.
2nd and 5, and Sanchez going with the short throw. 2nd time he finds Richardson. And Richardson to the 34. It's interesting, Tony Richardson has a role in the huddle for the rookie quarterback. We found that out last night with Rex Ryan when we met with him. He reminds the rookie quarterback every time down the distance coming up.
Yep, everybody has a job, and if he's not in there, then that job goes to Thomas Jones. So, but what they do with Mark Sanchez, Brian Schottenheimer calls into play and will say to him, you have 4 completions in a row. Make it 5. Just complete the pass. Don't think of anything else. Trying to get him to focus on just one process in the play.
3rd and 1, and Green, the rookie, picks up another 1st down. He went behind Alan Faneca. Picked up 2.
Though it's interesting you talk about that, and Rex Ryan, Brian Schottenheimer both talked about Mark Sanchez, and they said one of his things they had to correct about his makeup, he looks at the scoreboard and sees they're down, and he goes, man, I want to score 14 points right now. This is not USC. The other guys are good, and you got to work your way into that.
So the Jets move the chains twice. And this time, Sanchez has no chance to get away from Eric Weddle.
Boy, how about that?
Loses 7.
1st down, Eric Weddle on the outside. Just so quick and gets around the corner so fast that Richardson cannot do anything with it. Here he comes outside again. There's a free receiver down the field. Doesn't matter if the quarterback doesn't have time to throw it.
A 2nd and 17. Sanchez not sacked on the last regular season game nor last week. Green picking up a good chunk. Stays on his feet out to the 36. Behind Richardson he ran. Picks up about 7.
Well, what they do, this is a good call, and they know 2nd and long. The New York Jets, they fall for it. They're going to do one of 2 things. Throw a screen pass or run a draw. Because you get the defense playing pass, you get some extra yards. Now you at least give your young quarterback a chance to pick up the 3rd and long.
Green has rushed for 32 yards on this drive. 3rd and 10. Good pass. Sanchez has the Jets to the San Diego side for the 1st time. It's Braylon Edwards with the catch.
Oh, beautiful job by the Jets. They took their time. The offense communicated. Everybody knew who to block. And Sanchez, look at him. He's looking left all the way. He knows he has a blitz. It's single coverage. Look how long it takes. Throws it over the top. Actually, it was a zone defense. Wasn't man-to-man.
Picks up 21 on a 3rd and 10.
That'll give you some confidence.
Back to Green. Give him a yard. Garay on the hit. Tonight, 60 Minutes joins up with the 82nd Airborne as U.S. soldiers move in to help Haitian. Plus, the small island in the Pacific with a big reputation for creating NFL stars. What a report this is. You know, there are 30 players from Samoa in the NFL. Guys like Troy Polamalu, Manu Maliuna in this game. Wayne Hunter of the Jets. Who's from over there? Junior Seau. And a story tonight about how it's worked out this way, producing so much NFL talent.
Well, I actually saw the piece. A lot of it they believe is the faith, how much they believe in family, and how disciplined they are as a group of people.
Timeout, New York. That's a fantastic piece. I've seen it too. It's tonight on 60 Minutes. 3:11 to go in the half. Jets call a timeout.
In the laundry room, Mark Olson is joined by that woman from 3C. He's tried before to engage her.
It's supposed to be kind of windy today.
But today, he's ready.
You heard about McDonald's new $1 menu at breakfast?
She's interested. They talk about the savory sausage McMuffin, the hearty sausage burrito, the premium roast coffee, McDonald's new $1 menu at breakfast. A common interest, something to build on.
This could be our song.
Nobody makes breakfast like McDonald's.
Nearly 3 million people may be affected by the catastrophic earthquake which hit Haiti on Tuesday. You can help by supporting the American Red Cross. Text the word Haiti to 90999 to donate $10 to the Red Cross. Your donation will help victims of the tragic earthquake in Haiti and other relief efforts. And again, that number 90999. Jacques Césaire's family affected, and there is before the game. Mark Sanchez with his dad, Nick. His dad told him, just go enjoy yourself today. His dad is the fire captain at Station 6 of the Orange County Fire Authority, and Station 6 is one of 28 urban search and rescue teams in the United States, part of FEMA. They were deployed to the Gulf Coast after Katrina, and in fact, Mr. Sanchez told us earlier today, Station 6 could be deployed any day now. In the next couple of days, you might think it could turn out to be to Haiti. 34 years a firefighter. 2nd down and 9. Getting back on his feet, Sean Green.
You know, I've just noticed, and not just noticed, but have you seen how many people have slipped today? Running to the sidelines, guys, cleats coming out from under them.
It's happened a bunch, and we were on that field yesterday just admiring the great condition of it. But it is getting a bit chopped up.
Yeah, it's not that I don't know what it is. It doesn't look like the turf is coming up. It just looks slick. Maybe it's too hard, and the cleats are not digging in enough.
3rd down and 5 from the 38. First time all day the Jets have threatened, done anything. Knocked down by Jammer. They're looking for Keller. Jammer reached in and swatted it away. 4th and 5. What will the Jets do?
Yeah, it was a really good play by Quentin Jammer. Sanchez with a little pump fake. He opens up a little lane to throw it, but both corners, Quentin Jammer, Antonio Cromartie, they've had solid years. It's allowed this defense to free up and cheat and play the run while they play those receivers to the outside.
Weatherford back in there with 2:27 to go. Remember, the Jets had 4 fake punts this year that worked out. Spoles. He did not fair catch it. He's brought down at the 12. What a job last week by Jay Feely, stepping in for Weatherford at the last second. That was a 29-yard punt, just what they'd asked for, just to try to pin him inside the 20. An 11-play drive by New York that changed field position anyways. First time they were able to kind of rekindle the offense. Saturday, CBS Sports dishes up all kinds of basketball action. Triple header, all leading to #1 Texas at Connecticut. The Huskies will host the Horns. Triple header action right here on the home of the NCAA championship. It's next weekend, next Saturday. Rivers and the Chargers pinned. Back at the 12, they have 1 timeout. And a 2-minute warning to play with. Looking way down the field, and Rivas had the best play on that, as it turns out. Running stride for stride with Vincent Jackson.
It's just excellent coverage. And Darrelle Rivas, you just think about covering these speedy, this guy fast and big. Good release by Vincent Jackson. But here's what you like. Who's the first one to spot the football in the air? 24, Rivas. He sees it before Jackson does. He has a better chance to react and go get it. He says you got to be like a mirror. Whatever the guy does, you got to mimic it. The receiver, whatever he does, you mimic it, and then just try to run with him.
They asked him the two best receivers he faced all year. He felt it was Andre Johnson of the Texans, Steve Smith, Carolina. And he faced some good ones. Tomlinson picks up 3. I mean, he shut down 1,000-yard receivers. Kept them under 50 yards in virtually every case. Got the 2-minute warning.
Say hello to the can-doers, the budget masters, the knockout artists who are finding more ways to spread their dollar further, to bolder color in less time. Say hello to newer ideas and lowered prices, enabling more people to turn more saving into more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Right now, get $5 off top brands like Bear, Glidden, and Fresh Air.
It is the most advanced automobile we have ever created. A car that can help awaken its driver if he begins to doze. Keep him in his lane if he starts to wander. Even stop itself if he becomes distracted. If you want to see the future of the automobile, look at where the E-Class is today. This is the 9th generation E-Class. This is Mercedes-Benz. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for exceptional offers through Mercedes-Benz Financial.
Extraordinary Measures is inspiring people everywhere.
You have a chance to save people's lives.
It's a triumph of heart, passion, and joy.
What you've given us is hope.
A life-changing story.
We can do this, Bob. I believe in you.
A feel-good and believe-again movie.
Let's make it work. I think I can save their lives.
Extraordinary Measures is as uplifting and inspirational as The Blind Side.
You're not gonna kiss me, is he?
I will restrain you.
Extraordinary Measures. Rated PG. In theaters Friday.
Here we go.
Papa John's been taking it to the house all season. Now, take a look at the NFL's finest taking it to the house. Against the Jets, Miami's Ted Ginn Jr. followed blocks from Lusaka Polite and Chris Clemens to take it to the house for the second time in the game.
25, 30, he's going He's going He's gone!
Go to NFL.com/Papa John's to order for the second half and find out what John's going to do if a player takes it to the house in Super Bowl 44.
America's top CEOs are going undercover in their own companies.
This goes by so fast. I missed it.
I hope I didn't mess something up.
Take it too long, Randy. Take it too long. Nice working with you, but you just don't have it.
Walter is the only person that's ever fired me in my whole career.
Undercover Boss premieres after the Super Bowl, only CBS.
Coming up, Sprint halftime report. Send it back to New York. James, Dan, Shannon, Boom, Coach Cowher. The first half highlights, their take on this game. Latest NFL playoff news coming up, Sprint halftime report. Third down. Need to get to the 22 for the first. They'll run the Sproles. The Jets close in on them quickly with David Harris, and the Jets call a timeout. They have one remaining.
I got to admit, pretty conservative call by the Chargers. Phillip Rivers, he's out in the field arguing because he says the Jets were offsides. He used a hard count. They jumped, but they determined nobody was in the neutral zone.
Hey, it's been a divisional playoff weekend here, devoid of suspense, but major appreciation for defenses. You know, the home teams have won in every case so far, and if you look at what happened at Indianapolis last night, Minnesota today, the home team defenses haven't given up a touchdown now in 10 quarters.
Pretty amazing. We talked about it some last week, Jim, in our playoff game, that all year long we talked about how the NFL's changed. Offense, 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 and sets and defense is really stepping up.
Cypress. Wow. Boy, does he let go. The big one here, all the way back to the 23. Patry cuts a couple of times to escape hits, but swallowed up at the 32. Patry, Rivers target at North Carolina State. Now all the stars of the NFL lining up, positioning their teams for a spot down in South Florida. Super Bowl 44 coming up on CBS February the 7th. And for the first time, both championship games will take place in domes. The Saints will be hosting the Vikings. The Colts, the winner of this one. Brett Favre, who grew up only 50 miles from New Orleans, was a huge Archie Manning and Saints fan as a young man. He won a Super Bowl down in the Superdome when he was quarterbacking the Packers back in the 90s. Take on Breeze next week. Here is Sanchez faking twice now. Hits Keller. And a negligible gain. In fact, not a gain. Out of bounds. Steve Gregory pushed him out. No catch.
That's a good job by Mark Sanchez. Nobody open over the middle. Getting good protection because he's making all these little pump fakes. You're the quarterback. You look down the field. Can you spot anybody open? Maybe right in front of him for the short gain. But I'm sure they told him. They're telling him as they call the play in, be careful.
And 2nd and 7. That's pulled in for the catch by Kotchery. Stays in play, though, at 1:30. That was the biggest lesson learned as the season went on for Sanchez. He told us yesterday about ball security. Not necessarily the throws, but really the decisions. You talk to Brian Schottenheimer, he'll tell you it started to kind of click on mentally for the rookie come the Atlanta game in December. And there's Sanchez hitting Braylon Edwards, slicing through the defense to the 45, and the Jets have a chance to do something before halftime.
They sure do. What a throw. I see his confidence growing. That's about 3 times. He has really stepped into it and thrown a strike.
That went for 20, and he spikes it to stop the clock at 55.
And all these plays, when you see him getting the football down the field where he's hitting the receiver right on target, the San Diego Chargers are sending an extra guy on the rush against Sanchez, so it makes the holes bigger down the field. It's easier for him to make those decisions. Boy, how about that? Right on the target. Right on target. Young quarterback, sit everybody back, play coverage, make him make the decision, and throw it into a tight spot.
2nd and 10. Jets give him the time. He's going sideline and over the head. Braylon Edwards. It's Cromartie running with him. Again, the Sprint halftime report is coming up. JB Dan, Shannon Boomer, Coach Cowher. We'll have the highlights of that dominating performance by the Vikings today. Their take on this game coming up. Sprint halftime report. That was a pretty remarkable performance by Minnesota today. So many people thought the Cowboys were ready to make that run.
I was one of them, but
Miami.
I didn't get a chance to say it, Jim. I just don't know why the Jets spiked the football with the timeout and the time on the clock. It only gives them 2 downs here to get in a field goal territory.
Yeah, they're going to regret it if they can't pick it up right here on 3rd and 10. Sanchez from behind is hit. And it falls incomplete. That's what you're talking about. That was pressure from Steve Gregory.
I was going to say, there's an uncovered receiver down the field. I lost sight of who it was as he steps up, going down the left sideline. Uncovered. Yeah, it's Wallace Wright, but he went out of bounds. And so I don't know if he'd have caught the football. He went out of bounds without being forced out if he was eligible.
Going back to Rutherford. And it's a touchback. It's a bit of a panic play, that spike situation. You had 55 seconds to go ahead and reset, you know, a down so crucial, leaving yourselves only 2 downs to keep the possession alive.
Especially, Jim, when you still have a timeout.
Yep.
Use the timeout and then let your play calling decision making determine how many plays you're going to run from there in.
Rivers will have 1 timeout in the pocket here. What will he do at the 20?
I know this. 7-0. I think the New York Jets will be in a good mood and high spirits going into the locker room, and I think the Chargers will feel good about a lot of things they've done, especially picking up blitzes and making plays.
They go run with Sproles for 9. Hit by Rhodes. There's the timeout. Last one for San Diego. Well, in this game, for those just joining us, the Jets, they've had 6 possessions leading to 6 punts. Only touchdown of the game, Rivers to Wilson.
You know, you look at that play and you go, how come nobody was covering Chris Wilson? Well, but they were paying attention with most of their defenders to Antonio Gates and Vincent Jackson, and they just don't even think about it. You're the New York Jets. You got a pecking order. Oh, it's Vincent Jackson, Malcolm Floyd, Antonio Gates, Darren Sproles, LaDainian Tomlinson. Where does Chris Wilson come on that list?
That's the problem.
Way down, so nobody was paying attention to him.
It's hard enough to get to the top of that list and cover him up. Again, 7 different receivers in all. Picking up with Rivers so far, 2nd and 1. They get Sproles running free. They got to hurry up and reset now. This is where they're going to want a spike play at 15 seconds. That was a 22-yard run. So 2 carries by Sproles from the 20 to the Jets 49.
Well, really good call. It's one of those, if it doesn't work, everybody boos and says, what a terrible call. But it's blocking up front. The Jets thinking pass all the way with their defensive linemen and the linebackers and defensive backs. And Darren Sproles, it's different. When you send him down in the secondary than most running backs, he can make you miss. Antonio Gates seals it to gets the inside sealed. Sproles runs through it quick.
He had Calvin Pace shielded. And again, the Chargers without any timeouts. It's good. Now the Jets use their last timeout. San Diego, of course, burned off 2 in the first quarter when their offense was on the field. They'd love to have one of those back right now.
They would. Well, you know, usually in the first half, Jim, the rule is if you need them, use them. Second half, protect them no matter what. But good timeout by the Jets. The Chargers, they need to get out of bounds to even get a chance to kick a field goal. So you go over your rules, decide what you're going to do, and just make sure if they catch it, get them down before they get out of bounds.
Got to figure they need about a 10 or 11-yard pickup. Kading's career long 57.
Yeah, I'd say, if they get 10, we were watching him in warm-ups.
Made one from 62.
62.
Yep.
Of course, these are not practice footballs. You know, I always say that in warm-ups, those footballs always travel farther because they've been kicking them all week in practice. It's not a brand new game ball.
There's Vincent Jackson. He's got 11 yards.
Man, is that clever. That really was. I thought they had everybody covered, Jim, where they couldn't get out of bounds.
It's going to set up about 57, 58 yards.
And they stuck him across the field. Vincent Jackson, top of your screen. Well, the defenders down below, they're trying to make sure Antonio Gates can't catch it and get out of bounds.
This is going to be 57. Would match a career long for Kading. And importantly, it would give the Chargers a 10-0 lead at halftime.
Oh, big 3 points. Of course, we know that.
Got a hook. It's knocked down, and running it out is Revis. Trying to pull off something Cromartie did once against Minnesota over 100 yards. And Revis is tackled by Chris Wilson. A 50-yard return.
Well, it's smart by the Jets' part. It just doesn't look like Kading just catches all of it. Falling away, not in good position to drive it. That's why it's short and right. And Revis, very alert. Really nothing could go wrong here except if you fumble and they return it for a touchdown. He was last wave of defense, got him.
Chris Wilson came back. Revis had run past him one time on that return. The Jets will be receiving the second half kickoff. It's a 7-0 San Diego lead at the intermission. We're back with the Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. And you're watching the NFL on CBS.
Wisconsin rallies to win. The long desperation by leaning up, killing it on the 5. A record crowd to see
AFC, the championship. North Carolina is the 2009 national champion.
Live by the sword.
You disappoint your boss and sacrifice a finger, partner.
Die by the sword. New CSI Miami, Monday, only CBS.
The Masters on CBS.
Some wintry weather on the way. If anything that does fall will accumulate.
The first snowstorm of the new year.
And it's coming down fast and furious.
WLKY's most accurate forecast keeps you safe, informed, and prepared.
The messy commute possible.
With live team coverage of road conditions.
Side roads are all slick, slippery, and dangerous.
And up to the second school and business closings.
We do have 19 school closings.
JCPS will be in session today.
When winter weather hits Greater Louisville, stay with WLKY. Live, local, late breaking.
At Pizza Hut, we've got a deal for you. Choose any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings, and pay just $10. You want a large meat lover's pizza? $10. Maybe you're more of a large pan supreme kind of person. $10. Thinking of a combination of your own? That's $10 too. That's any pizza, any size, any crust, and any toppings for just $10. All your favorites, now just $10. Only at Pizza Hut.
At Speedway, there is a lot to choose from, but I like it because I can make my coffee my own way.
I'm hooked on the new caramel latte.
I love the French vanilla cappuccino.
And who doesn't love the price?
99 cents gets me the same cup of coffee, cappuccino, latte, whatever, that a fast food place charges almost $3 for.
Any 16-ounce coffee creation at Speedway is just 99 cents every day.
Your coffee your way, the convenience stores of Speedway.
Learn if adoption is right for you. Sunday, January 31st at St. Francis High School.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
And welcome back to our New York studios and the Sprint Halftime Report. I'm James Brown along with my guys, Dan, Coach Shannon, and Boomer. Score at the half. San Diego up on top of the Jets by a touchdown, 7-0. Only score, Boomer. Well, here's the touchdown pass right here to Chris Wilson. You'll see he's riding it up on the right tight end. And David Harris is going to blitz right up the middle. That means Bart Scott's got to cover the middle of the field. This is blitz 2 coverage. Bart Scott, for some reason, is looking in the backfield. Easy touchdown right over his head. Chris Wilson, that's on Bart Scott, guys.
You know, one thing, you want to think about the Phillip Rivers and how they've been picking up the blitz. You know, the Jets like the blitz. And when you do that zone blitz, a lot of times there's a lot of holes back there because you're dropping linemen out. And they've been doing a good job. The biggest concern for me with the Chargers is they're only 1 for 6 on 3rd down. And they've been a little sloppy overall as a football team.
And, you know, it's kind of an ugly game. And this is playing to the Jets' favor. The one thing I sensed in this game, though, is Mark Sanchez is starting to get comfortable throwing the ball. I would just say to him, dump the ball off, throw some screens, move the ball through the air more on 1st and 2nd down. I did sense him starting to get more comfortable in the pocket as that second half started to wear on.
Well, the matchup that we thought would materialize is Darrelle Revis versus Vincent Jackson, but Darrelle Revis has covered LaDainian Tomlinson, Antonio Gates, Malcolm Floyd. So, and you see, the thing is that they're not only going to Vincent Jackson. Antonio Gates had a big first half. But if I'm the San Diego Chargers, I feel real good because I've held the New York Jets in this powerful running attack to under 100 yards in the first half.
If I'm the New York Jets, I feel real good. I've given them a lot of yards, but I've only given them 7 points. The Jets have them right where they want them right now, and they start with the ball in the second half. Remember, they deferred to start the game. All right, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well coming up in just a bit. All right, folks, it was Minnesota getting the job done against the Dallas Cowboys earlier.
In all phases, we didn't turn the ball over. We just executed the way we had to execute in order to beat them.
It's just right now. It's just hard to think about. You know that it's over. You know this season is just. It's just you put so much time and effort into it. It's really disappointing.
What about going to New Orleans? I mean, another high-octane offense. What do you see there?
You know, it's going to be an environment similar to this, but for them. So, you know, we have experience playing down there last year, and we just got to go down there. And as long as we stay on our basic and our fundamentals, and you know, we work hard, and it's going to be a challenge.
So Leslie Visser getting the job done with Brett Favre and Jarrett Allen. So next Sunday, NFC Championship game, the top 2 seeds, it'll be New Orleans hosting the Minnesota Vikings.
You know, you think about these two football teams, and they're very similar. They both can run the football. They're both very balanced. They can make big plays in the passing game. And to me, is Minnesota going to be able to go down there and get pressure on Drew Brees and just take him out of his rhythm some?
Well, Ray Edwards hurt, Winfield hurt, and I think it's a big challenge. But I look at the New Orleans defense. They have gotten healthy with the bye week. You know, they got Sean Ellis back. They got Greer back. Their corners are back. So the New Orleans defense was very impressive against Arizona.
I agree with what you guys had to say. Does Minnesota bring that defense, what we saw on display today, do they take that to the Superdome and put enough pressure on Drew Brees to confuse him?
Brees, Favre, Peyton Manning. Do we get Phillip Rivers, the 4 best quarterbacks in football this year? Hey, only one half to tell you, and I'll tell you right now, the Jets are loving right where they are.
You love the Jets.
I don't love the Jets. They love what's happening right now. Radio show in New York's got to talk about the Jets. Coming up tonight on 60 Minutes, a look at Football Island, how American Samoa produces so many NFL players.
You have a locker room?
Nope, we don't have a locker room.
You have a weight room?
We don't have a weight room.
How are you turning out NFL football players?
Determination.
A story you don't want to miss. Coach just said tough guys for sure. The full story tonight on 60 Minutes. Play clairvoyant for the second half.
All right, you know, keep running the ball if you're the Jets. Right up the middle, you've had success. And I want to see a little bit more from Braylon Edwards.
If I'm the San Diego Chargers, I keep doing what I'm doing. I'm stopping the run, and I'm going to force Mark Sanchez to beat me throwing the football.
And I think Mark Sanchez needs to throw the football and dump it off. A little bit of screen pass here and more in first and second down. I think he's getting comfortable.
And Phillip Rivers, they got to convert on third down. 1 for 6 in the first half is not good enough in order to get enough points for them to win. I mean, it's just
all right. Thanks for watching the Sprint Halftime Report. We'll get you back to San Diego for the second half of the Jets and the Chargers. We'll do that after this.
CBS Sports presents the Sprint Halftime Report. This is the NFL Now, only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.